A lion can cross the distance between you before you can invent a plan. It is heavier, faster, and armed with claws that can open skin in one strike. In a fair fight, the human has almost no chance, but the lion does not attack, because it is not asking whether you are weak. It is asking how expensive the attack might become. That calculation protected humans long before guns, cities, or stone walls existed. Wild animals can see that humans are slow, fragile, and physically vulnerable. Yet they do not treat us like easy prey. Human weakness lasts only until the human begins to act. Real predators are not searching for honorable fights. A predator wants meat without receiving an injury. Even a small wound can become a death sentence in the wild. A damaged paw means tomorrow's prey will escape. A lost eye means the next ambush may fail. A broken tooth can turn a hunter into a starving animal. So the real question is not whether a predator can win. The question is whether it can win safely. A deer follows a familiar escape pattern. A zebra separates from the herd. A rabbit sprints toward the nearest burrow. Every familiar prey animal gives the hunter a readable script. Then a human enters the scene. We stand upright, where almost every other large animal moves on four legs. Our eyes face forward like a predator's, but we have no fangs, horns, hooves, or protective hide. Our front limbs remain free to grab almost anything. A harmless stone can suddenly fly across the clearing. A dead branch can become a weapon in 1 second. The human looks vulnerable, but refuses to behave like prey. It looks directly at the predator. Sometimes it even moves closer. To a predator, that behavior means unknown risk. Researchers tested this fear beside waterholes in South Africa. First, the animals heard lions. Then the speakers played calm human conversation. No one shouted or threatened them. Yet the animals fled more often and abandoned the water faster than they did for lions. Nearly every species in the experiment feared human voices more. A person was not even standing there. One ordinary voice carried more danger than the roar of Africa's largest predator. A lion usually kills one victim. Humans can return as a group and remove the threat completely. Nature remembers that difference. European badgers were tested with dogs, wolves, bears, and humans. The human voices produced the strongest fear. After other sounds, the badgers cautiously returned to their food. After hearing people, they stayed hidden much longer. A badger can bite a human, but that does not make the encounter worth testing. If it bites a wolf, it must survive one wolf. If it attacks a human, it cannot know how many humans will return. Mountain lions reveal the same calculation. A puma can bring down prey heavier than a human. Yet recordings of normal conversation made pumas abandon food they had already captured. They fed for less time and moved more cautiously. Their changed behavior affected smaller animals across the landscape. One human voice began rearranging an entire ecosystem. Animals do not merely recognize our species. They study our clothing, smell, voice, gaze, and movement. Elephants in Kenya distinguished between human groups by voice alone. They reacted most strongly to adult male voices associated with greater danger. The animal was not hearing a generic human. It was identifying exactly what kind of human might be nearby. Older matriarchs made these judgments with the benefit of experience. Experience turns a human voice into a detailed map of danger. Now imagine an ancient human facing a hyena. The human has no claws, armor, or impressive teeth, but a stone lies beside his foot. A moment later, that stone becomes a weapon that strikes from a distance. Soon the stone is joined by a sharpened stick. Then comes fire. Then comes a group that can surround danger from several directions. The predator expected to fight an animal. Instead, it is forced to fight a plan. A lion's claws exist only on the lion. Human weapons can be hidden anywhere in the landscape. Humans turned the surrounding world into extra teeth and claws. But the spear was not humanity's most dangerous weapon. The most dangerous weapon was the memory of the group. When a lion kills an antelope, the herd runs away. When a predator kills a human, the others can return. They remember the place. They read the tracks. They bring weapons. They pursue the danger after the immediate attack has ended. For most animals, a conflict ends when the opponents separate. For humans, separation can mark the beginning. A predator does not face one frightened individual. It faces a creature that can tell everyone where the enemy is hiding. One human sees the danger. Minutes later, the whole group knows. Then the danger begins to feel like prey. However, our reputation does not protect us automatically. Repeated harmless encounters teach animals to stop fearing people. A bear finding food near houses begins connecting human scent with reward. A wolf that is fed begins allowing people closer. A puma, accustomed to hikers, gains time to study our behavior. At that moment, the mysterious human becomes readable. It learns that adults sometimes turn away. It notices that children are smaller. It recognizes the person who separates from a group. Every safe approach lowers the barrier to the next one. The animal has not become evil. It has simply learned that contact is becoming cheaper. Hunger can push a predator toward risks it normally rejects. Injury can prevent it from catching normal prey. Protecting young can make retreat impossible. A running human can activate the familiar sequence of pursuit. A crouched person loses the unusual tall silhouette that warned the animal. The mysterious creature begins to resemble ordinary prey. Predator and prey can exchange roles after one bad decision. Now return to the wolf watching you in the darkness. It knows you cannot outrun a deer. It can see that your skin offers little protection. It notices that you are alone, but it also sees the upright body, direct gaze, and free hands. It cannot know whether a weapon is hidden. It cannot know whether other humans are nearby. It cannot know whether you will return after surviving the first attack. The wolf sees a fragile body carrying a terrifying reputation. Every second without a safe answer makes the attack less attractive. If the risk remains unclear, the wolf leaves, not because it believes you are stronger, because the possible reward does not justify the unknown price. Wild animals understand our physical weakness perfectly, but they never evaluate our body without our behavior, tools, group, and consequences. To them, a human is not the strongest opponent. A human is the most expensive opponent. A lion carries fangs. A buffalo carries horns. An elephant carries overwhelming mass. A human carries threats the animal cannot see in advance. A stone in the hand. A group behind the trees. Fire arriving after sunset. A memory that returns tomorrow. That is why ordinary conversation can empty an African waterhole faster than a lion's roar. Wild animals do not believe humans are invincible. They recognize a risk that has ended badly too many times. A lion may kill a human in seconds, but before attacking, it must answer one final question, not whether it can defeat you. What happens to the lion after it wins? That is why the predator keeps watching from the darkness. And then, instead of moving forward, it takes one careful step back.